information void of spiritual illumination leads to an inability to have relaxation. It steals your rest.
Dr. Tony Evans says even the most prestigious college degree can only take you so far.
It'll get you a better job. It'll get you a higher place in society. What it won't get you is rest.
This is The Alternative with Dr. Tony Evans, author, speaker, senior pastor of Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship in Dallas, Texas, and president of the Urban Alternative. Many of us bring our cares to the Lord, only to pick them right back up again. Today, Dr. Evans reveals how we can break that cycle once and for all and find true spiritual rest. Let's join him.
The Pelican is the world's most unwanted ship. It's called the Pelican. The Pelican has been sailing since 1986 with no place to dock. Everywhere the Pelican goes, it is rejected. It is unwanted, and it is denied. That's a long time to be wondering on the vastness of the ocean, but that is the story of the Pelican. The natural question then is, why is the Pelican wandering aimlessly? Well, you see, in 1986, there was a political convention held in the city of Philadelphia. But during the week of the convention, the sanitation department went on strike. They were going to use this convention, I don't remember whether it was Republican or Democratic, but it was one of those major conventions, to make their statement. And so they went on strike, and there was nobody to pick up the garbage. So what they did was collected the trash of Philadelphia and put it in the bow of this boat. It's a huge boat. It's 466-foot freighter. Because they had to have a clean city for the convention. And with no garbage collection, it would have been a rotten situation. So they just gathered the garbage and they stuffed it in the Pelican. Now all of that garbage, unaddressed, for a period of time became toxic. And the toxicity of the garbage in the Pelican made it an unwanted vessel. So wherever the Pelican goes, it cannot remain there because nobody wants a boat full of trash. Life has a way of unloading its garbage on us, so that over time we become filled with trash. It unloads its pain, its sins, its circumstances, things you don't want, but things you don't know what to do with. Over time, those sins, circumstances, and scenarios become toxic, leading to an overload of anger, guilt, pessimism, bitterness, a vengeful spirit, rejection, that contaminates us and our relationships. The problem is, this accumulated trash doesn't have anywhere to go. Every time we try to get rid of it, nobody wants it. You try to get rid of it to your friends only to understand that they got their own freighter. You try to get rid of it yourself, but you can't even stand the smell of you. You go to a counselor and try to get rid of it. For a moment you feel better, only to discover that when you walk out of the room, you still are carrying your trash with you. And you find yourself like the Rolling Stones, unable to get any satisfaction. You become a wanderer with the pain you may have caused yourself, the pain others may have caused you, running on this perpetual treadmill, jumping through hoops with nowhere to go. And so you conclude, well, all I can do is live with it. It is to those who are burdened down, overwhelmed, discouraged, regretful, in pain, that Jesus offers the greatest invitation in the scripture. He offers rest. This word rest is thick in the Bible. This concept of rest. On the seventh day, God rested. God established for his people a day of rest. The book of Hebrews over and over again says there is a rest that belongs to the people of God. What he suggests is that to be a Christian ought to normatively mean you're in a state of rest. What is rest? Perhaps a synonym you would really use for it is relax. Or another synonym could be being revived. Being able to chill out. Say it any way you want, but there is this thread through Scripture that God offers and expects his people to be at rest. Most of us, however, are rarely at rest. We're at worry. We're at anxiety. We're at rush. We're at frustration. We are not at rest. If it is normative for you to not be at rest, then something spiritual is missing. Jesus begins his discussion with a prayer. He says in verse 25, I praise or acknowledge you, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that you did not reveal these things to the wise and intelligent, but you revealed them unto babes. Yes, Father, for thus it is well-pleasing in your sight. Why don't more of us have rest? Because we're too smart to get it. Jesus, in preparing to talk about rest, says, I praise you that you have not revealed these things to the wise and to the intelligent. Is Jesus condemning education? Is he condemning a high IQ? Is he condemning maximizing your academic potential? Not at all. For then all the commands in the Bible to learn would be futile and fruitless. Now when he talks about wise and intelligent, he's not talking about academic proficiency. He's talking about the source of your information. The wise and the intelligent is referred to in a numbers of places as being wise and intelligent in this world. That is, to have a secular worldview, a non-Christian orientation. What he is saying is rest doesn't come with a degree from Yale. Rest does not come having mastered the academics at Harvard or UCLA or whatever the place of your graduation may happen to be. In fact, it may not even come having gone to seminary. For God's manifestation, revelation, and our benefit through illumination does not come through contributions made by a system that does not know God, that leaves God out. He says, I praise you, Father, that you have not revealed these things to the wise and intelligent, that is, to those who rely on human wisdom and human intellect. What's wrong with human wisdom and human intellect as opposed to spiritual? It'll get you a better job. It'll get you a higher place in society. What it won't get you is rest. That's why you got people making 6 figures jumping off of buildings, blowing their brains out, or addicted to medication tied to their inability to get rest. I'm not talking about where there's a physical deterioration that needs a medical doctor. I'm talking about their inability to cope with life. It's easy to play church, but the reason you know it hasn't connected is after church is over, there's still no rest. You leave as worried as when you came. You leave as mad and angry as when you showed up. There's no rest.
When Dr. Evans comes back in just a moment, he'll have more for us on how we can find the rest we're looking for. First, though, time is about to run out on your chance to get Tony's newest book, The Kingdom Family Devotional, as our gift. It's packed with 5 devotional messages for each week of the year, covering topics from salvation to sanctification. Simple enough to keep the kids involved, but with enough substance to help you build a well-rounded Christian life. If you contact us by tomorrow, it's yours with our thanks for your gift of any amount toward Tony's ministry. And as a special bonus, you'll also get full-length CDs of Tony's current 8-part teaching series, Strength for the Journey. But again, this double offer runs out tomorrow, so be sure to contact us right away at tonyevans.org to make your contribution and your request. Or give us a call at 1-800-800-3222, where staff members are standing by around the clock to help you. Again, that's 1-800-800-3222. Now let's get back to our message. Here's Dr. Evans.
The Pharisees, who Jesus denounces, had information. They were the biggest Bible memorizers of the day. The higher you went up the ladder, the more Bible you had to know. And God is actually saying he's hiding his truth from them. They had information, but no illumination, no understanding, no rest. Jesus' prayer at its core means that if you are self-sufficient, spiritual things remain hidden. If you are depending on human wisdom, that is an ungodly approach to fixing life's problems, the solutions to those problems will remain hidden. Information void of spiritual illumination leads to an inability to have relaxation. It steals your rest. God's spiritual truth that provides rest in life only is available to babes, not to secular grown-ups, not to adults in human wisdom who have not become humble in spiritual dependency. Let me put it another way. To find rest demands that you understand spiritual reality. To be filled with divine truth, you must empty yourself of human wisdom. And to empty yourself of human wisdom will be a strike at your pride. There's no way around this. The reason more of us don't have rest is because we look to a system that God rejects. Then we go to God for rest, but because we look to that system, he provides no rest, no relaxation. And Jesus says, and I praise you for it. I praise you that you have put people in a situation where they've got to do it your way or no way, because there's the highway. Having given the qualification that it's not human wisdom, it's spiritual wisdom from the mindset of a baby, dependent. He then comes with an invitation. This invitation has 3 words associated with it: come, take, and learn. He gives 3 verbs to help you and me to grasp this invitation. He introduces this by letting us know that all things of the Father have been handed over to the Son. In verse 27, no one knows the Son except the Father, nor does anyone know the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son wills to reveal him. The Son knows the Father knows the Son, but the only way you can get to the Father is through the Son, and if you don't want the Son, you can't have the Father. And he says, we got this thing locked up. So God is not going to respond unless the Son approves the response. And the Son is praising the Father for not giving the response if you are using human wisdom, because the Son loves the daddy so much that the Son is insulted when you go to somebody else's daddy and skip his daddy. So it's only available to those whom the Son wills to reveal himself. And he is only willing to reveal it to babes. Jesus says, the first verb, come to me. Come to me. Who should come to him? People who are riding on the pelican. All who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. You ought to be able to take a deep breath right there, because he says you're in a bad situation. He says you're weary. The word weary, the Greek word for weary, means exhausted. Anybody here this morning tired? You tired. In fact, you may not even know what you're tired of. You just tired. In fact, you just may be tired of being tired. You're weary. That means to be exhausted. Just tired. You just wake up ready to go back because you're tired. You're tired of people. You're tired of work. You're tired of problems. You're tired of life. You're just tired. But then he says, you're not only tired, you're heavy laden. Now, it's bad enough when you're tired. Heavy laden means to have something externally placed on you. You come home after a hard day's work and you are tired. Bosses extended you and you're tired, you're weary, you're exhausted. You come in the door and your wife got something for you to do. Now you're tired. And the first thing you don't want to hear is that there's other stuff that she wants done now. Because now a burden has been given to you. Or it could be vice versa. She comes home tired. And here you talking about what you cooking. And she says, whatever you buy. Because I'm tired. So to be heavy laden means that something else is placed on you, weighing you down when you are already tired. Creating this sense of desperation to the tired people and the overloaded people who have more on them than they can bear. Jesus says, come to me. That sure is a simple answer to a hard problem. Weary and heavy laden, I'm bending over. You say, come to me. The invitation to come to him will let you know how really tired you are. Because the gap between your tiredness and your coming to him reveals how tired you really are. Because if you're still trying to do it with human wisdom, you're not tired enough yet. You're tired, but you ain't tired. Because he says, come to me. You're not feeling well, you go to your medicine cabinet, you take a couple of aspirins. Didn't work. You go to the drugstore, you look at something stronger. Say, maybe this will work. It didn't work. The delay between your attempt to do homemade remedy or over-the-counter medicine and the time it takes to call the doctor means you ain't sick enough yet. Because when you call the doctor, it's usually because nothing else has worked. All attempts to feel better have not worked, and so you come to the doctor. And the reason you come to the doctor is because you know he has information that's beyond your scope of knowledge. He's got equipment that's beyond your ability to diagnose. He has training, history, understanding, expertise that's at a level beyond you. When you need a doctor, it's usually because human understanding didn't fix it. God will let you do everything you want to do, to use all your human ingenuity to fix the trash weighing you down until you discover you need the great physician. Come to me and I will give you rest. Rest is a gift. But after you come to me, yoke with me. Many have come to Jesus for salvation who have been yoked with Jesus for relationship. He says, come. Then he says, make the decision to take. That is, make the relationship the priority.
Now, if you've never accepted God's invitation to come to him, if you've never taken the step of asking Jesus Christ to be your personal sin bearer and guarantee you a place in heaven for eternity, take a few minutes to visit tonyevans.org today. Right at the top, you'll see a link that simply says Jesus. There, Dr. Evans will tell you all about what it means to be a real Christian and walk you through everything you need to know to start your brand new life. Tony has more to say on today's topic, so he'll be back tomorrow to wrap up our current series, Strength for the Journey. That makes this the perfect time to get in touch with us and request a copy of this 8-lesson collection that'll teach you to trust God when you're faced with giant problems, spiritual bondage, or the day-to-day cares and concerns that weigh us down. Remember, it's yours with our thanks when you make any contribution to help us keep Tony's teaching on this station. You'll also receive the Kingdom Family Devotional book I told you about earlier. Again, this special double offer runs out tomorrow, so be sure to contact us right away to make the arrangements. The quickest way to do that is to visit tonyevans.org. But we also have staff members standing by in our resource center to help you. Just call 1-800-800-3222, day or night. That's 1-800-800-3222. As we learned today, we don't get to choose whether or not we'll have problems in life, but we can choose how to deal with them. And tomorrow, Dr. Evans will help us understand more about the most fruitful and fulfilling choice we can make. I hope you'll be with us. The Alternative with Dr. Tony Evans is brought to you by the Urban Alternative and is made possible by the generous contributions of listeners like you.